Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Aristochats podcast, episode 9.
Greetings.
Yeah, how are we doing, Aero, Ben?
Pretty good. How are you?
Fantastic. We got some wine and cheese today, actually.
Celebrate the weekend.
Yeah, and celebrate, big cheese.
cheese.
And we have cheese, and see, it's like a symbolism or something, I guess.
So cheese and crackers are like savory things, and then the wine is traditionally goes really well with cheese. So because it's big cheese, we also have the wine as well.
Shut up.
I think that's a frame one kitty chair.
No, not the kitty chair.
That's a kitty chair speed run. TAS. That was really annoying. So we have a
Oh man, this is awful.
It's wine, man.
It's wine.
It's nice.
He
wine,
doesn't drink
actually.
coffee, he doesn't drink wine.
I'll take this now.
But we're on the topic of wine. Favorite alcohol? What's your
Not
alcohol of
wine.
choice? Okay. That wasn't, the question.
This is up there. Not this specifically, but just
Wine.
Cab Sav.
Okay.
Yeah, red wine.
Eric?
Bourbon.
Okay. I used to be really big on vodka, and then I had one horrendous night on that, and now it's just gone
Can't
forever.
do
No.
it.
Scotch. Scotch and anything
Scotch,
actually is
yeah.
just...
Scotch. I used to drink Scotch on the rocks all the time.
Yeah.
But it's too strong for me now, so I always have a mixer.
You know, I'm actually like... see how easy to influence I am. I really like... I don't know if I can say this. Probably can't say this. I really like Winston Churchill. I think he's like a fascinating historical person.
Yeah, he's cool.
And this guy was like,
do that.
drank a lot, and he drank like little bits throughout the day. But he had like Scotch and soda was like a big one of his. I was like, oh, Winston Churchill, he's cool. I'm gonna try Scotch and soda, and then I tried it. I was like, fucking nice,
Damn,
actually. Like he
yeah.
knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean just like carbonated water or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good.
Interesting.
It's good. He used to have it like as his mouthwash. He used to have it in the morning, wake up, and he'd just be like to his mate or whatever, just like, hey, bring me the mouthwash. But it's only like he just had it just enough to cover the bottom of the glass, and then so very light sort of taste. But yeah, it's actually nice. Not bad. Not bad. But if you have it with like a sweeter sort of soda water or like a ginger beer or something, it's also nice. Really good.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah. But we have a big, pretty big episode to talk to. We're going to go through the Ludwig recap for the big tournament that was on last week. We're going to talk about the small and medium cheese, which is, I hate saying that, it sounds really dumb. And we'll go through a little bit of the preview. Obviously, the big cheese, like day one, is underway now. So we'll go through a little bit of that. We've got the giveaway to do as well, which we've been talking about for about 2 weeks. So we're going to announce that live on the podcast. And a few other little segments as well. But firstly, let's go on to the Ludwig recap. So, did you guys watch much of this or know much about like the results?
I didn't watch all that much, but I believe that Spud and Sora both did pretty well that weekend.
They did pretty well.
More so Sora.
Josh
but-
Man took Wizrobe to game 5 last hit.
Wow.
So that was
That's
pretty
incredible.
impressive. Yeah. I think Spud took the Ice Climbers player last hit.
Slug was his name?
I think
That's really because he
He
ended
had
up
a-
doing
he had
really
a
well.
massive
That
tournament,
guy.
And I'm pretty sure they were last hit on like FOD, I think. from
Right.
memory.
Damn.
But that was close. And then he got hit into disadvantage once, and you're like, oh, and
He's
you kind
done,
of knew,
he's done.
he was dead, yeah.
Yeah.
But good tournament. And then Zane just absolutely washed Melee Grands.
Really?
Yeah, it was over in like 6 minutes.
Wow.
And we had
Against Slug?
against it was against HBox.
Oh, wow, okay.
So HBox beat Leffen losers final, and then
Yeah.
Leffen had a whinge about the rule set.
Yeah. People,
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
planned on him a bit
And
or
then
whatever.
I don't know if that was HBox was like distracted or anything. Probably more so that he just kind of used up his remaining energy in the Leffen set. That happens.
Yeah.
And then Zane just like
Came in fresh for Grands
just
and-
annihilated him. Like
Time to put him down.
yeah, it's weird how there's not many like consistent matchup things in like Melee in terms of players. So like Zane just obliterates him. Hadn't beat him for like the last 4 sets or something, I think. And then the next day they play on like an online tournament and HBox wins 3-1. And it's like, but you just got like viciously 3-0 yesterday. What's going on? It's just really weird how it's like not that consistent. Like,
I guess there must be especially at that level of play and a game of that like proficiency required. That
if you just slightly
any
off
slip
it or,
up, and even if you're both playing really well, there's so much room to make minor adjustments. Whereas something like Ultimate, it's a lot more like macro level changes that you need to do. So I guess there's even just within a given set, there's a lot more flexibility with adapting your game plan and movement down to positioning. Even
something that is cool about Melee is that it's so deep into the game now that the Melee you see at a top level tournament now is not always the best Melee of all time. Whereas if you have a Major and Alt, the game is still so young that it's like, oh well, that's the pinnacle that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And every few months it's a new pinnacle. But in Melee, it's like, is that Melee better than the Melee we saw like a year ago? Like, maybe not.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of crazy. Like they are always getting better, but it's not like that clear.
Not like leaps and bounds.
Yeah, and sometimes you know you can definitely have like a tournament from last year be superior to the overall level of play of the tournament this year or something, which is kind of cool.
Though ever since Slippy came out, you have seen a lot of people like the accessibility to. We talked about this a little bit last episode, but just that accessibility to improvement and resources is so much better now that you are getting a lot of people quickly like shooting up in skill level.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to do with Alt because I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast last week, but I bought like the jig piece to mod the Switch because I wanted to use like the training mod pack because I think this is just for someone who's like years behind in the meta. It's so important for me to know like what is true, what is safe, what is punishable, what I can do out of shield against certain things.
You need to catch up on basic things that everyone else knows.
So I'm really hyped to like try and get that and hopefully set that up. But I ordered it from New South Wales and it's just a fucking letter and it hasn't arrived in 1 week. So
with Ozpost?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But onto like Alt in the Ludwig invitation as well. So MK Leo won that. Spoilers if you didn't know. And he dropped 1 game.
Yeah, that's right. And he'd been slipping a little bit before that, hadn't he? Like, you're kind of getting some fifths and fourths and thirds.
He was not winning everything.
I believe he hadn't been playing Joker Byleth, though. I think he'd been playing like Aegis
like Robin
and
stuff like that. Yeah.
So was it just like here's my motivation? It's like money or something, and then
I think
he's like, I'll try.
You'd have to ask him. I feel like he wanted to show that he was the best still.
Right.
And he like obliterated everybody.
Plus, I guess there's also that sort of obligation as well. It's like, all right, this guy has like put up a whole event for
got
it.
This guy's from
he's
Japan
giving all this
everything,
money for it. So like, it would be a bit dog if I just like don't try.
Didn't try.
It's the same like when I got flown to America, even though I hadn't played K. Rool for like 3-4 months at that point. I was playing Bowser. It's like, well, I can't just go there and play Bowser.
Yeah.
So I need to brush up the K. Rool to get they get what they wanted out of me being there. So
that's true.
You know,
I think the other surprise packet was Kurama, the Mario.
I haven't heard of him since like 2019.
I think he got 4th.
That's interesting.
I think it was 4th, but this guy is so fucking good, actually. So I watched him play MK Leo. He lost 3-1, and he was the one to take a game of MK Leo. And I thought he looked like the better player in the set. But maybe Leo was just like a bit more clutch or something. But this guy, like, kind of outranged in neutral and stuff like that. But he's just finding consistent ways to like. And his punish game was so precise and like fucking vicious.
Yeah,
I thought he was he probably looked like slightly the better player. So yeah, absolutely cracked performance from him. Hopefully we see a lot more of him. He's going to that tournament. I think this weekend they're having like another sort of big tournament in America. Okay. I think he might be attending. I know like Akla is and a few other big ones. Though I don't think Leo's going. But and then second was Akala got second, and third was Spargo, maybe.
Probably.
Sure. Yeah, I think
Spargo played like Aegis at this tournament, which I don't think he has been doing previously.
I know he played Cloud into Akala. They went game 5.
Right.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot.
Yeah, so I think he probably played both of them. But I think that was like the top 4. But a hugely stacked tournament. Saw some really good players from like I'm watching him. I'm like, man, that guy's fucking good, and they just didn't even make like the end day bracket or anything. Yeah. Like, some of them were pretty unlucky. I thought like Jackal, the Wolf player, was pretty unlucky because he looked really good. He was, I'm pretty sure he went last game with Akala. And I was like, he definitely went game 5 with the Steve. I think it was Akala. And I was like, I think you were the better player in that set. I think you should have won. Couple things like that, but there were some really cracking sets. I have to go back and watch like all of them. Really hope they get Yoshidora out from Japan at some point to one of these American events, but he doesn't travel much.
Yeah, I don't think he even goes to that much in Japan either.
He doesn't, no.
Yeah,
but that guy is so good. Like if you're listening, you haven't watched the Yoshidora set, go watch this guy play against some people. Like he just lights up some really good players. Like he 3-0'd Proto like pretty recently. Lucina and Min just carved them. He's beaten Akela, I think, a few times. Like, guy's nuts.
I remember way back, well, not way back, maybe 2018 or 2019. It's possibly pre-Ultimate, if not very start of Ultimate. A couple of the PG Stats guys that I follow, he was always talking about Yoshidora because like no one knew who the hell he was. He like wasn't even on the Japan rankings because he didn't go to enough, and he's like, this guy needs to go to the US or at least like consistently be in Tokyo. He'd be like top 10 in the world or something.
I think he's
went.
top 10.
Yeah,
I think he's top 10 now.
And this guy was always talking about Yoshidora like, please, someone needs to get him out there. And then when they changed the PG Stats system to sort of, like now that you've probably seen like Australia is like getting points and you see DD number 67 or whatever because they're kind of like super boosting regions that can't really go to US. So I think Yoshidora has since been like a top 20 or something, top 15, which got some outrage. People are like, who is this guy? He's never even been to an event before, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
but
I test his top 20 easy.
Yeah.
The guy's fucking good. I would actually pay to see him play like Aero and stuff. Guy's shit actually. And he's like hype too. Like a lot of Ultimate players like not that interesting to watch.
Yeah. He's very explosive.
He's really explosive, and that's always like good in Ultimate to watch players like that. Are you shaking your head, Yoshi hater or something?
Yeah, I don't like Yoshi.
Have you watched any of his sets?
No.
He's cracked. He's better than you. He'd beat you.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
He might 3-stock you.
I'm not convinced. No. No way.
Really?
Maybe.
Yeah. Moving on to the next tournament this week. I can't remember what it's called, but the Akela's probably like favourite for that because I don't think Leo's going.
Leo there.
I don't think so. People thought that like Akela got kind of like annihilated in grounds, but I didn't think so. Like they're all like last game. I think maybe
a lot of people just say that. They're like, someone will get 2 stock in a game. It's like, well, you are washed. You're blah blah. It's like just watch the game.
Well, like game 1, 2 were like last hit, and then game 3 was I think there was last stock, but I think he got gimped at like 40 or something. So, oh no, he didn't get gimped at 40, but like he gimped him. Like Leo was at 40, and then he got a gimp. So like I thought they were pretty competitive, to be honest. I was surprised. I thought he was going to get like annihilated, and that's what everyone was talking about on Twitter. And then I watched the set, and I'm like, it's a competitive set. Like you could easily have won 1 or 2 of these games. Like what do you mean? But I've got to say as well, if you haven't watched this tournament, you've got to watch the segment of, well, go watch Leo vs Karama for a start, and then watch. I think they're playing on TNC. Maybe it's game 2 or 3, where Leo's at like 150%, and he the last 20 seconds of this game. He's playing against Karama's Mario, and he's at like 90, and MKLeo's at like 150, and he's in the corner, and he's like spacing against this Mario, and he's actually not using shield. He's like slingshotting out of the corner, double jumping, fast falling, like just avoiding back air, and then he gets to the other side of the stage and does it again, and then like gets down to up air. And I'm like, dude, what? He actually did not press. Not only did he not shield a move, he didn't press shield at any point in the segment. And I'm like, that's actually like completely outrageous.
Yeah, that's really
it's
interesting.
Fucking amazing. I'll show you if you haven't seen it. I posted in the Discord like yesterday.
So was he just like, was he just used to Karama like not overshooting or something like that, or he just kind of kept?
Man, I'm not fucking good enough to tell you how. It was immaculate. It's like immaculate smash. And I'm watching it. I'm like, well, that's what good smash is.
Yeah,
like, for sure.
That was good.
Yeah.
Similar though, with Leo not being in America right now, we don't have Jay Dizzle at Big Cheese this weekend either.
Where is he?
In Victoria.
Just not at Big Cheese.
Oh, that's weird. So just didn't go.
Didn't go.
Maybe with work or something.
Maybe he has tennis. You never know.
Razy is also not there.
That's disappointing.
That's true. So that's 2 of the top 5 not there.
Yeah, he's doing like uni stuff, I think. I saw him talking about group assignments.
You'll never like. It's very rare. Maybe sometimes BAM you'll get like all of the best players in the country, but usually you're gonna miss some players.
Yeah.
But we do have DD and Strix and Ghost looking to finally be a real top contender in Australia. Like he has this, well, because especially from Smash 4 when he was so clearly number 2, like Nick McKenzie number 1, but like no one could beat Ghost either. Where in Ultimate he's always had this like, he's good. Eye test, like he's good, he's strong, he gets good wins, but then he'll just lose a bit early in winners and then cop like Dr. Anus for 25th. Or Strix, or especially 2019, he got like 25th like 4 times in a row, but every time he would lose to like 2 top 8ers or something like that, until Sunny Side Up was sort of his breakout tournament in Ultimate where he got 4th.
It's kind of odd because, I mean, I've always kind of considered Ghost to be kind of a character roulette, right?
Yeah, well, it went like from Diddy Kong, Meta Knight, Sheik in Smash 4 to Bayo
Cloud.
to Cloud.
So
yeah.
he did that in Smash 4, and he does it in Ultimate, and I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why he always had that inconsistency.
Well, he didn't in Smash 4. He was very consistent. But the thing was, as far as I know, in Ult, he was actually playing Brawler for a lot of it, which is like not a top 5 character.
Not a top 5 character, but that was his most successful character.
Yeah. But it's interesting because the guy always does like go for pretty much what he thinks is the best character in the game, and now he's playing Steve.
Yeah. Because day one he was Daisy.
Yep.
Then he moved to Joker. There could have been a character in between. I don't think so. Then me Brawler, he was on that for like a year and a half.
But
and then Rob,
that one's
and now Steve.
really out of the ordinary. The Brawler.
Yeah.
Because actually, all in Brawl playing Meta Knight, all Smash 4, and then most of Ult, he's played what he thinks at the time, as far as I know, is the best character in the game.
Yeah.
And then he just had Brawler randomly there. Which is
I would like to ask him how good he thinks Brawler is, but I imagine at least when he was playing him, he must have thought this character is significantly better.
Yeah,
Because people thought it was like, bad mid-tier kind of thing. But he's definitely like, definitely like top 30, for sure.
Very mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good boxing options. So what are we thinking for predictions?
Well,
for Big Cheese?
Do we want to start with how day one has gone so far?
Well, I don't know too much about how it's gone, except that my boy Cameron is drowned.
Yeah. Who did you lose to?
I don't know. Who cares? I say my boy, but I like.
I think he lost to some projectile characters.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was having.
He's playing like Ridley, right?
I mean, the guy doesn't. The guy doesn't play.
He played against Belmont, like Ridley Belmont, just not playable. If Ridley gets onto the ledge, like how do you get off? You can't.
Yeah.
Like Ridley's just too big to get off the ledge ever.
Queensland was a little shaky. There were definitely some players who should have made it into 64 that didn't, like DFS and Jaws. They both drowned.
That's unlucky. Yeah.
But then we had
they drowned.
They drowned. Then we had a few others like Mitchie. He didn't make it through, but he was very close to making it through. He went game 3 with like Ven Gaming and someone else as well, Newt as well. So he performed very well despite getting 65th.
Yeah.
You have Tracker Base 2-0ing Heaven, making it through winner's side to top 64.
Monster.
You
I
have
balanced this, Steve.
Pram made it to top 64 as well. He's quite new. He's only been around.
Palutena
I think that was on my worst.
Palu Cloud.
That was on my worst tags list, Pram.
Yes.
Yeah, he's only like 2 or 3 months old into the game. Maybe a little,
No.
maybe
I thought
maybe
you
a
were
bit
gonna
more at
say-
this point.
Because I played against him a few months ago.
I thought you were going to say
Okay.
he's 2 or 3 months old, and I was like, that is impressive.
That is, so yeah,
That's why his name is Pram.
maybe like 6 months at this
Who
point.
does he use?
Palutena.
Yeah, Palutena Cloud.
I haven't seen the Cloud, but I know
Cloud's more recent.
I've lost.
Yeah.
I've lost to the Palutena, so
So he's in top 64. That's probably like the biggest news, like Tracker Base beating Heaven.
Yeah.
There are 8 Queenslanders in top 64. So like there should have been. Well, it's one of those things that always happens where like 2 or 3 people who should have made it through didn't, and then a couple people like, oh, okay, they made it through.
Yeah,
Tracker Base
So-
making top 64 doesn't really surprise me because this player has.
Like a strong game plan.
No, I wouldn't call it a game plan, but it's
Flow
like
chart.
maybe
Yeah.
like a flowchart. Like if you're on the ledge, he will actually just like every time he'll just put the TNT on top of the platform, and then he'll stand under the platform, and he'll up tilt the pressure
Oh, that's
plate,
right. Yeah.
and it blows up the TNT without hurting him. And so if you jump, you die to the TNT.
Yeah.
And if you don't jump, then you die to whatever Steve's going to do on the stage, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like these situations that are really strong, and if you don't know that that's like a thing, it's like very much like a knowledge check.
Yeah.
Playing against
Knowing
them.
your... One thing I've noticed is like knowing your ledge, like your ledge traps.
Yeah.
And the systems that you use is like really, really massive in this game. It got pretty big in Smash 4, but it's even more like important in this game. Like you have to know it, and when you don't know a character's like like ledge traps, you're kind of going to get washed for a while.
Well,
for
that's the
multiple
thing.
games.
And sometimes the ledge traps are like really stacked in like other characters' favors.
Yeah.
So like the Belmonts, for example,
King K. Rool.
King K. Rool,
Pretty
Yeah.
absurd.
Actually, yeah.
and Steve. Yeah, Steve is
There's
a
plenty
pretty
of
good
them. I
one.
mean, to be honest, most characters lead trap really well. Like most of them have
Yeah.
tools. Actually, like the majority of the cast like lead traps really well. And yeah, you can certainly die at like obscene percents, to be honest. But yeah, I think
I had a look through the last big thing I noticed. 'Cause I can't really talk about individual wins and
Yeah.
losses that much, but Perth did really well.
Really?
They have 3 or 4 people
That's
through
surprising.
winners.
Okay.
They have like another 2 in losers. So like Cutes, Naz, Luma, and 1 or 2 more all made it through. And I think like a couple of them like upsetting players
Yeah,
as
right.
well, not
Yeah.
projected. That would probably have to be the best. The best that Perth has ever looked into a top 64,
Yeah.
I think, at any major. Maybe
Quite
BAM 9 when they had
Yeah.
like CMK and Orion and a couple of those like retired but still good players rock up and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Perth has been improving a lot,
That's good.
even like in 2019, 2020
And who's their best player now?
would be Luma.
Luma, right?
So they were looking very strong for a little bit when they had
Poppet, Luma.
Poppet, Luma, Spud,
Yeah.
like all as their top 3. It's
Very
like
strong.
that, like
Super
they
strong.
are 3 like potential Oz PR players, you know.
Easy.
But that was like a good month tops, and then Spud disappeared again. Didn't play melee either, as we know. So this is probably the strongest Perth's ever looked. They've been improving in like a lot in the last year and a half. In 2019, you had Nate Dogg go from Victoria, number 38 or something,
Yeah.
maybe not even, and he would have been PR
Yeah.
in back in 2019. Then you had Millis as well, who was not on the 40 in Queensland. He goes over there and he's top 12, 11th or something like that.
5th at their like tournaments.
Yeah, like,
like
beating
weeklies.
beating a PR player or 2 every tournament. Only losing to PR, that kind of thing. So and just watching them as well is always a bit of a spaghetti.
That's nice
you
seeing them
know.
do better for like because they didn't really ever have a good period in Smash 4.
No,
Like maybe like
they
a
were
little bit
they were
harder.
better than
They were
better than
never-
Queensland for
they-
a little bit
There
when
were
we were the
times
worst.
when
but
you
But
kind of
then
like
they still weren't good.
no,
you were
They
kind
were
of
never
thinking
good.
like maybe they're turning a corner and then they would go to a tournament, they would all just like drown or something.
yeah. So
So-
now it looks like they're actually
Yeah.
looking pretty good
Yeah, that's good.
compared to the
It
rest of
makes,
us.
it makes like all of Australia way better when scenes get stronger like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm actually so cut because I was watching the Small Cheese stream
Mm-hmm.
the other night, and I'm talking to Jason on Discord, and I'm like, I see Con play Dura, I think it was, and I said, oh, okay. Hey, Con's the best player in this country, not even close. This guy's winning this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled Dura, I think it was Dura, so hard. They're playing Fox Falco, and he's just like,
And Drew was like top 5
just,
Vic.
yeah,
Like,
just shredded him.
Yeah.
Like, never a contest ever.
Falco, was it beat?
Yeah, maybe
Oh yeah,
beat.
it was
beat,
beat. Yeah, also top 5.
Yeah, and he just totally put him in the complete dumpster, embarrassed him, made him look like a joke of a player.
Mm-hmm.
Looks smurfing. This guy's like smurfing, like checking options with jab and then just like reacting to everything else. I'm like, that guy's there. He wins tonight. This guy's too good. They went 0-2 after that, I think. Like, made top 8, then instantly
Yeah,
lost. I'm like,
yeah.
I started faith, and then he drowned today.
Yeah.
Perennial choker, to be honest. Colin.
yeah,
He has
yeah.
done it in Smash 4 as well. The guy's like prodigiously talented, but just can't seem to get it together for majors, like ever. I don't know why.
In Smash 4, so you remember Cap, Declan,
Yes,
the
yes.
Lucas.
Did he beat
Very
Colin?
cool guy.
Did he beat Colin?
So, I'll
Okay.
get there, right? So, Cap almost didn't make PR in Queensland because he was. I think he had no PR wins. I think, but he didn't lose to anyone below PR or
Right,
something.
okay.
He was kind of like quintessential, like honorable mention, like
He's
gatekeeper,
gatekeeper, yeah.
gatekeeper. So I think he got HM on that one, or he was going to,
Yeah.
because it was just before the PR came out, and he went to OHN 16, myself and him. Awful time getting there. We had the flights being cancelled all day. We had to sleep over at the motel at the airport. That was the one I think Jace was going to go to as well. His flight got cancelled. Like,
Right.
they were having terrible winds in Sydney, so there was one runway open. So it was like 1 in every 6 flights was actually going through. Very awful. But he went there and he had to play Turn Up and Con.
Strong.
And he ended up beating both of them. When everyone was like, wow, you're dog shit. I think Turn Up was like, he was like watching Cap behind him, and he was talking to the person like, man, that guy's so shit. Like, he's actually dog shit at the game, talking about Declan. And they ended up playing,
Oh no.
and he like beats him, like game 3, and he just like stands up and just goes in his face like, you're fucking shit at this game. Like, back to Turn Up after beating him.
Oh, Declan says it.
Declan said that
okay,
back
yeah.
to him after Turn Up said that about him earlier.
That's so
You woke,
good.
you
I
woke
love
the
that.
dragon. Yeah.
I love that
And then-
energy.
Yeah,
That's so good,
and then he played the next set, and he had to play Con And Con at this point was OzPR contender, like
Yeah.
very strong player.
Yeah, it was.
He didn't go to that much. He had a couple good. He was kind of being a little snubbed just because of attendance. But if he went to more, he definitely would have been OzPR. So he was kind of on that cusp just because of attendance, and he needed this tournament to really cement him being on the OzPR. And Declan just 2-0s him.
No.
And Invisi came up to me, and it's like, we're like literally doing the OzPR stuff right now, and
You just knocked him off.
you
the
just
PR.
knocked him off the PR.
That's so.
Yeah.
That's so sad for Colin. Because that shit does happen. Like that happens.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Like I have certain I lost to Vasi and Vizzy and some players like just like
Yeah.
obviously should be.
Yeah.
It happens, but
Yeah.
and to have it like a literal defining moment like
That
that's
was literal.
knocked you off the Oz
That
PR.
has literally done it.
That's so
Yeah.
shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, I like that though. Like to be honest, if you're gonna like, I don't know about saying it behind someone's back is kind of cringe, but even calling someone like a bad player, saying they're bad at Smash, I honestly don't care that much as long as that you gotta be able to take it when it's given back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And like doing it like very seriously and obviously bullying someone like kind of shit, but I don't mind the trash talk.
yeah.
But I really like that Declan gave it back to him after beating him.
Yeah,
And the thing is, like, oftentimes, like, I think most players, if you call them shit, I think most of them will play better
yeah.
on the whole.
Well, it was better too, because turn up, as far as I know, like it wasn't like banter. It wasn't like, your shit to you. It was like it was about him.
Yeah,
like he
he
was
just
like,
heard it.
he just heard it.
Yeah.
So even better, I
It is
think that
better, it is
Declan
better,
was like, no,
yeah.
fuck you, actually. So
Yeah, Declan was never, like, fully an easy beat. I don't know about you guys, but, like, for me in Smash 4, it was never like, he could always move, he could play.
yeah,
But
he was always like eye
just
test. Like,
wasn't
this guy's
quite
good.
explosive enough. Maybe his conversion.
He wasn't
didn't
scary.
punish you
Yeah,
quite enough.
Yeah,
I don't quite remember, but I do remember there was a certain point where I could no longer beat him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember that. I think I was at like a Jubilee or something, and I had to play against him, and I was like,
that's interesting.
"Well, I can't beat you anymore. Like, there's no way
What
I can beat
happened?
you." I don't remember if I beat him before that or not, but yeah, like that point, I was like, "You're just like,
You're way too good.
Yeah.
yeah, you're above my pay grade."
Oh, and to finish my point before, OHN that put Declan on the PR as well.
That's
after,
so good. Yeah.
After we were like,
Perfect. What a
wait, you can't beat PR players. But yeah,
That's
so
like
it's
career-defining
perfect.
set there.
Yeah.
For him, it's much
And that period, like the couple months leading up to that and a bit after, it was definitely like he improved a lot in that time and was kind of stuck around as a strong player.
All right. Give me a winner for Big Cheese.
I would say DD, but I think he might have a very hard time against Strix and Ghost with their characters.
Does he play anyone else except for
Actually,
Warwick?
you
Who
know
else does
what?
he play?
I'm gonna just put it out there. If Jix is playing really hot this weekend,
You called this like months ago, I think.
Yeah.
On one of the podcast episodes, you
Yeah.
said like either
We could have,
Jix
like, a-
or
Bro one.
yeah, or Bro One.
Bro One
Like,
could.
if they-
I think
Did
he's
he, wait, did he go?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got.
Ooh.
so
Cool.
he's in Winners 64.
Nice.
He hasn't, to my knowledge, been playing super hot lately. Like the pre-local to Phantom when he was playing really, he won that. He beat
It honestly
Strix over
doesn't
that.
matter.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But just saying, he can do it
Yeah.
when he's playing that well. I don't know if he's quite in that element
Fair enough.
right now.
I mean, I think he said that he hasn't been playing well
I
recently.
feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's like
You can
it's
just
like
pull it
sport as
out,
well.
yeah.
Like once you get to that day on the final bracket,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it fucking
all
doesn't
that
matter. You
matters.
just get like you win once, that you get some momentum, and you just it doesn't.
I mean,
it
Jix and Bro One are definitely contenders.
I think they could both absolutely
for
win
sure
the
top
tournament.
three.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Because aside from that, you only really have DD Strix Ghost, who I think is on that level. You have like Heaven and Taicho.
I mean, they're not.
There's-
They're not going to win.
Well, like
Heaven's- Heaven's
no,
loses
like
now.
Heaven's and
those
losers
two,
won't-
those two won't win. But I'm even just talking like the top
top
level
eight,
there.
yeah,
I just
top
feel
eight,
like that. Oh, there's Seb as well.
Yeah.
Probably unlikely to win, but he could. Like
Yeah.
he could
Oh, he
he
for
could
sure-
beat
possible,
everyone
it's
there.
possible,
Yeah.
I don't think he will. But I think obviously your favourites are like
I'd like
DD,
to see a Seb win actually. You know.
DD, Strix,
I'm thinking
Ghost.
Strix from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm liking Strix
Yeah,
at the moment.
and he's quite consistent.
But I
at the
mean,
moment,
okay,
I
here's the
believe, as well.
reality: if DD goes there and plays to his peak, he wins. Because such as he is a player.
Did Didi play?
He's too good.
Did Didi play against Strix or?
I haven't seen him at either of the locals, but he might have gone. I don't know, but I didn't see him play.
Didi is this is second-hand information. I don't know myself, but I believe that Didi, like right now, snapshot of Victorian scene right now, I think Didi is above Strix on the rankings or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there is a ranking, but if it was to drop today, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just my simping for Didi. I know if he goes there and he plays to like that level that he can, it's just like.
I mean,
you wouldn't want
yeah,
to fucking play against
yeah.
this
No,
guy.
for
It's
sure.
just too hot.
I'm just
too
mostly
much.
thinking like with Strix and Ghost, they seem to be
The
playing
matchups
well.
are-
The
yeah,
matchups,
for sure,
like I just
yeah.
think Didi would have a rough time.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say Jix wins
Okay.
this weekend. I'll put my money on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Strix.
I would probably go DD. I don't think Ghost will win. I don't think Bro 1 will win. But they have like that, like separate.
Bro
they
one's
have-
like a good 5th or 4th, I
they
reckon,
have
this
that, yeah,
weekend.
for sure.
But yeah,
I
That'd be
think
great
Bro
to
1
see.
yeah.
is always kind of like that guy who comes ninth,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Who knows? Tracker Base could win after his win
Maybe.
today.
Is that a ban
So-
Steve straight away? Is that happens?
It could be.
Just
Oh,
Australia
That would be
just-
very funny. That would be very
Who just
funny.
ban Steve straight away?
So probably like DD, and
Okay.
then I would have like Ghost and Shrix sitting there,
What'd be
and
sick?
Jix as well.
What'd be sick if we're all wrong? That'd be awesome.
And then Bro 1 like.
Okay,
that-
you've named 20 players.
I'm naming,
Yeah, you're
and
cheating,
then
though.
I might name a few more.
Yeah. Right, well, yeah, looking forward to that. I'm going to be watching it over the weekend because I got some days off and stuff. So
Yep.
I'm pretty excited for it. And we'll do some go into in depth on some of the sets maybe on the next episode as well.
Did Ghost win both small cheese and medium
No,
cheese, or
no.
did Strix?
As far as I know, he lost small cheese. I think he lost small cheese, came second.
Yeah.
And then he won medium cheese.
Right, and that's between Strix and
I
Ghost for
believe
each.
so.
So
Yes, I believe so.
they're looking.
But
Jix,
I don't know
Jix
if,
and a
I
couple
don't know
of
if
people.
Diddy attended.
No, Diddy wasn't there.
Okay.
I think. Jix wasn't there. Seb might not have even been
Bro
there.
wasn't
So,
there.
so they were kind of like
Yeah,
the only two
yeah.
of those 5 or 6 that were like, oh, they actually have a real shot at winning.
It's good that when you have a tournament like this because there are definitely a lot of points in Smash 4 where it's just like, oh, that's just
You just
Nick
know.
Wave or Ghost.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. So that's cool. I remember, God, I can't remember what. There's a player you were talking about a bit earlier who like was struggling a bit in early Ultimate.
Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost. Yep. It's funny how some players like there are players who are really good at a previous installment of Smash, and then you move over, and it takes them like a while to adjust to it.
Yes.
So Duom was the
Yeah.
same. He struggled early in Ult,
Mm-hmm.
and then has climbed back up. I think he's PR now or
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah.
Um,
He has always kind of been. I don't think he was ever not Vic PR, except for maybe like a season where he screwed around with secondaries or something.
There was a time where he was going like 1-2 at a couple of like events. Like he was struggling like early
Mm.
Ult, and then this also reminded me.
It was
then
like
of,
middle.
like-
It was middle.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, losing sucks.
Yeah, he's like, what's this one? Yeah, because you just don't get used. Like you're not used to it anymore.
Yeah.
So which is why I'm like scared to go to tournaments and go to 0-2 because I'm like, how am I going to deal? How is my ego going to deal with that? I don't know how I'm going to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about Jace from Brawl to Smash 4. So in Brawl, he's just like top 3 Queensland. Like he's the best actual Queensland player because Apollo and I are not from Queensland.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like he demolishes all Queensland players. And then in Smash 4, he like struggles a bit early. I think he's losing to like Hope Dealer, Jay Yoshi, loses a set to Aero, losing to Shitashi a few times, and then eventually it clicks. He finds the character, it clicks with him, and then he's Jace for the rest of Smash 4.
Yeah. Rest is history.
Yeah.
Ari and Shadru were good examples
Yeah.
of that at the start of Smash 4, where they were both strong. Start of Ultimate, they were both strong. And it was even expected because they're very like learned players. They need to really study and get into it and understand the character and be used to playing their
Yes.
opponents. You know, they can't just pick it up and be instantly good.
Yeah.
So it was a bit expected that they would drop. But then, 2-3 months, they were back. Ari, the best that he ever... Well, both Shadru as well, actually. Both of them better than they ever were at Smash 4.
Yeah.
Even like relatively to the rest of
Yeah.
Australia, and then did really well after that.
I played against Shadru in one of my first tournaments for Ult, like maybe second or third tournament or something, maybe first. And it looked like he thought he was going to beat me. He seemed like pretty confident. And then I beat him pretty easily. And he was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, you're never going to beat me. Like, look at you. You're just like, I'm just going to camp you, little Ryu player. And then I go to like another tournament, which is probably like a year later.
Yeah.
And I get him. It's like, maybe it's what was this tournament called with like the 3v3 crews? Like, was this Meta Shift?
Meta Shift,
Meta
yeah.
Shift, yeah.
So I play in there. He annihilates Duo in doubles, and I'm like, whatever, doubles. I'm going to camp you in singles.
Yeah.
Play him in singles, and this guy obliterates me.
Yeah.
Not just like,
Yeah.
he just knows exactly what I do that's punishable. And my arrogance is just like annihilated because I'm like, I'm better than you, Shadrach. You'll never beat me in a Smash game. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't play. I'm going to beat you. And he just washes me. And I'm like, man, like, you've gotten so much better. It's always cool to see those like glow ups in players.
Yeah.
To be honest, like we saw it with you, definitely, who was like a solid player and then was a super high level like Queensland player. So it's good. It technically happened with me. Like in Brawl, I was like mid range and then exploded into like Smash 4 and stuff. It's always good to see that.
I remember a big turning point for Shadyu in Ultimate were the infamous Ken buffs, which he got like 8 of them in different patches. But there was literally maybe 2 or 3 months into the game, possibly earlier. I think you were at this Rambat even, where I had a freak out. If you remember that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you've been known to have one.
Really now. So at this point, I was like 6-0 on Shadyu, 7-0, like could not lose to the guy.
Yeah.
Had his number. And they just buff his Sure
This
You
is
Can.
this is the Cameron factor. This
This
is
is, yeah,
the boozer.
they buff Sure You Can, so now you die at like 90
Yeah.
instead of 150 or whatever. You know.
That's a notable difference.
Yeah, it's like incredible.
Yeah.
Like K. Rule, who was probably the best at surviving it in the
Yeah.
game, he dies at 107. 127 with no rage.
Ooh, yeah.
So, let alone someone who Puff or even just someone like Peach or whatever, they're just going to be popped at like 87. And I cannot beat this guy
Yeah.
after this one buff.
Yeah.
The only change, he beats me like the next like 6 times. Like I'm losing my mind over this matchup and these changes. And there was the Rambat that you were there. I think you were both there. And I get reverse 2-0'd, like double like reverse 3-stocked or something by Shadyu in winners. And I'm like almost on tilt. I'm like a breaking point, but I'm like, you know what, losers, I can do it, whatever. And at this point, I was like, all right, K-Rule sucks. Like very early into the game, I was like, I need to not play K-Rule. So I started playing Snake, and I had Weeb in losers, and we did the Snake Ditto. And again, I literally got like reverse 2-0'd, reverse 3-stock each game, and I was just molding. I was like, that's the second saltiest I've ever been at a tournament. Actually,
What's first?
the first was in Smash 4 when I was like really gunning for number 2 in Queensland, because remember at that point it's like, all right, Jace is number 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of the race to second place, and then you
Then you
can
contest,
contest Jace, you know. And it was between like myself, Curtin, and Shadow, like a really competitive,
Strong.
like 2 to 4.
Yep.
And I lost to Finn in like round 2. It was like one of those really stacked, like there's 16 players there and 12 of them are PR, you know, that kind of thing. I lost to Finn like round two or whatever. And that was like, oh, I'm not number 2. Like I needed that win to be number 2. And I was just, like for a minute or two, I was like really annoyed with myself. Actually, no, you know what? The Rambo was more of a freak out than that.
Okay.
But I was like didn't talk to someone for 2 minutes.
What's the saltiest you've ever been at a tournament? There's a couple. I know what I think it is.
It's almost certainly going to be me trying to spike you.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
That's what I thought it was.
But, that's what you thought it
No.
was?
No.
What did you think it was?
Is there a Sarah down smash?
Oh my goodness, I completely
That's
forgot. And I was even speaking
we were
about
just-
it
we were
today.
just talking about it.
Oh my
So
goodness.
as far as I know, this is like last game of like Bam to get out into bracket, and you I think she's like high percent last stock, and then you're playing. Who are you playing? Rosa.
Rosa.
And you died like
Why are you
a
playing
down
Rosa, man?
smash.
Because I played Rosa in early Smash
It's
4.
probably yes, please. It's probably a gunner counter pick as well. And you die on like smash or platform to down smash or something.
No,
at 40.
it was Lilat. So basically,
Oh, even better angle for it as well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm on like 40%. She's on like 150%. I don't exactly remember how she did it. But I'm standing at the ledge trying to like ledge trap her or something with Luma, and I'm just standing there jabbing or like down smashing. I don't know, because one of these moves is going to kill her. and she, I don't know, like gets up onto the stage and down smashes me, and I die at literally 40.
Does it bring you behind her?
Yeah, because it's like,
yeah, like Young Links or something.
Do you remember Toon Link's down smash?
Yes.
In
It brings you
Brawl?
behind. Yes.
Yeah, well, you could stand on like the Corneria stage with the ship on the other really close, and you would actually die at like 0 to this down smash because it has really high base knockback.
Yeah.
And that's what Miguna's down smash is in Smash 4. Super high base knockback. So 150% rage.
Yeah.
She down smashes me. I die
1.15 times knockback as opposed to Ultimate's 1.1.
Yeah. So 40% I die.
Now,
And that was to get into bracket of BAM, wasn't it?
Yeah. I never got out of bracket at BAM because I just choke when I
never forgave them for
I
that.
go.
That's so sad.
I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. But I believe that one of the properties of slants is it adjusts the knockback angles of moves accordingly. So if like a down smash sends at 40 degrees or whatever when you're horizontally, if you're tilted downwards, it carries that 40 degrees along with the axis.
I have no idea.
I could be wrong. I do know it at least impacts throws that way. Like if you get down thrown, you'll bounce more outward than you would on a flat surface.
I've never thought about it, so I'm not sure. I could not give you an answer, but I would be able to find out.
I want to say that's something I've observed, but I could be wrong. So in that situation, for example, like that might not kill you
that would be an
horizontally, but on
that
Lilac
would be an
Ledge,
even lower
do it in a lower
because
angle. Yeah.
That move like sends you sideways.
Yeah. So it would actually send you down because of that angle.
Basically.
I
like,
believe that's the
died.
case. I'm not entirely sure.
There was no, like, I couldn't...
You're done.
I just straight up died.
Sorry, as Rosa.
So when she's down smashed, did she have like the lightning?
I don't remember.
I wonder like what your face must have been when you've been down smashed. So you see her down smashing, hits you, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I'm down smashed."
Yeah.
Then you see the lightning, and what must have happened in your brain? Like, there's no way, right? There's no way I'm dead off this. Like, no fucking way.
Maybe that should be on our cheese list.
Yeah.
Well.
I was so sad about it, and then I got like annoyed because in future BAMs, because she would always be like giving out the player cards, like your entry passes and stuff. And she knew who I was.
Oh, you're the guy.
No. But like every time she saw me, she was like, "Who are you?"
Ah, that's even worse.
That's so funny.
Ruined your entire career. She doesn't even know.
No, she knows.
Like Thanos, I don't even know who you are.
No, she does know. See, because she, I'm pretty sure she used to always talk about it.
Yeah, but she's like
that was like the high. This was literally the highlight of her career.
But she's probably like, I down smashed some guy.
Yeah,
But she doesn't know who you are.
Well, no, she knows who I was.
Maybe.
But whenever we were face to face, it was like, no idea who you are.
That's tilting.
That's funny.
I don't what the saltiest I've ever been in a tournament. There was the first one I ever played against Bayonetta. I played against Jace's Bayo, winners, whatever, and he like 3-stocks me in about a minute 30. And I was just like, ooh.
I was pretty salty.
What's that one all about?
I won the set though.
I was pretty salty when Lumi beat me, reversed.
With Bayo.
2-0'd me with, or 3-0'd me with Bayo.
Yeah. Another Bayo, Tomo, or whatever his name was, from Victoria, almost beating me at BAM with Bayo.
Tomo.
Yeah, he wasn't around for long.
Okay.
Bayo got nerfed and he like freaked out apparently and left the scene.
Yeah, he did like a big post in the Discord about how like Smash players are ungrateful.
They don't deserve Bayo and stuff.
They don't deserve Bayo.
In the Discord, he was talking about like how bad I was.
Really?
He's like, oh yeah, I like read this guy, so he's like, and he got like lucky that he won or whatever. And I'm like, dude, play Smash with me. And I will fuck. Like, you pick up my character, I will fuck you. But never spoke to him again, so I couldn't say that. I only heard about this later. Times have been salty. Jaybirds, if any, like I know Ben knows the name. Picking Ice Climbers in Brawl. First time I ever played against it, and he's like chain grabbing me, and I'm like, ooh. So I had to actually time him out. Pretty salty then. But again, I also won that set. I can't think of many times I've like lost the set and been salty.
I made Jaybird salty one time.
Did you?
In Melee.
He
so I'm a Samus main. So already immediately everyone's like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Like, and every time I'm recovering and taking my time, because it's this like lose-lose, right? Because if you do a careless recovery back onto stage, they just gimp you. Like you're dead. You have to be very careful with a recovery. but it's like pretty easy to be
Yeah.
careful with the recovery.
Sure.
So you do it so you don't die, and then they're like, "Oh man, you're actually taking 40 seconds to get back to ledge. Like, can we play the game again?"
Bomb, like air dodge thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't do that,
can die. Yeah.
you will die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're just like, doing
Wave
dashing
dashing around,
and
dash dancing, yeah.
Even funnier when they like SD.
Yeah.
Like, waiting for you to get back.
Yeah.
And so he picks Donkey Kong into me, which is probably, from my experience, easily the most boring matchup
Right. Okay.
in all of Smash, possibly. Where literally you're just forward tilting. I'm
Yeah.
Samus forward tilting, he's DK forward tilting, and we're like not hitting each other. Like
Yeah.
there's a little space between our forward tilts, and like if anyone just goes into that little, demilitarized neutral zone, you die.
Yeah.
You step on a landmine and you're done. And so we're just doing this for 6 minutes, and he just like unplugs his controller and gets up, and you're like, "You're fucking worse than Kaon," and just just walks off.
Wait, but who won?
I did, because he
Oh, too
like
good.
DQ. He forfeited.
Oh, he forfeited.
was done.
I was unplugged mid-game.
Yeah,
That's
unplugged
so funny.
mid-game. Yeah.
That's too good. Oh man.
I mean, this guy was a little camper.
Yeah.
He's played Snake and
He
Ice.
played
He's-
Snake and Ice
because I wouldn't let him playing like a loser actually beat me, and I
Yeah,
responded
yeah.
in kind. It's like, well, you're a lame cunt, aren't you? Then
I tell you what, that's actually one of my big problems with Bayonetta in Smash 4. I fucking hate how long, when she's hitting me, I'm like, okay, I'll take
Back to the
60%,
game,
or you can
please.
kill me,
Yeah.
but please, like, speed it. Hey, can we put this on fast forward or triple the speed? It's taking so long. It's like,
Yeah.
please, like, I want to play. Like, let's back to the Smash, please. It's so annoying.
It looks really cool the first like 3
Yeah,
times
all
you see it, and
flashy
then it
and-
gets like boring
Then
after
it
that.
actually takes like 10 seconds or something. It's too long.
well, that was even a distinct thing they changed at
Yeah.
the start of Ultimate with
Yeah.
Palutena's Nair combos.
Right.
They reduced the hit lag on each individual hit because her Nair
Takes so long.
combo would take 40 seconds or
Yeah.
something. So now it's like, it's a quick, like,
Yeah.
10 seconds or,
Yeah.
it's-
But I mean,
Definitely
you can't like
cutscene.
blame when people are recovering, but well, you won't even blame the Bayonetta in this situation. It's like I wish the combo was actually like have your combo, whatever. I just want it to be faster, like
Yeah.
speed it up.
just jab me and do 60%. or
Yeah,
something,
honestly.
like, come
Well,
on.
her jab did like 25 or 20.
Yeah.
20.
Good move.
20.
Good move.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's like impossible to SDI as well, unless you got it really, really early. You could go out the top, but otherwise it was like actually really hard to SDI,
Yeah.
which is annoying. Actually, wanted to talk about designing your perfect Smash game. So.
Build a bear.
Yeah, we'll build a Smash game. Your favorite sort of mechanics from each game. I want you to sort of compile them into. Oh, actually, they don't even have to be. They don't even have to exist in previous Smash games.
Mm-hmm.
Even changes you would make into the next installment of Smash in order to like have your ideal version of Smash. Like, what mechanics would you take? What mechanics would you add or remove?
Mm-hmm.
What springs to mind for you guys?
For me, you immediately need to be able to run through your opponent. You're
my favorite.
You would preferably have melee and brawl. I assume it's the same in 64. Knockoff mechanics when you're shielding on a ledge
Yeah,
or
I
the
like those.
platform.
Right.
I would like it to be a little bit less severe than Brawl.
Yes.
But I do
Or like be
I do
able
like
to
the
tech
mechanic.
or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
or
I would like so shields. I want there to be like a power shield window at the start, and then they can like keep the power shield at the end as well.
Yeah.
But the start is only for like projectiles.
Yes.
Do
yeah.
you-
like a 2-frame window for
So
projectiles? or
you
something
would
like
have
that, or-
parry in your ideal Smash?
Yes.
But they would.
Well, I just call it power shield because they just moved the power shield
Yeah.
window to the end. But
yeah,
I would have it like at the start only for projectiles, and then at the end for for like harder punishes on like moves that are like actually melee.
Okay.
So like a nair or like a forward air or whatever.
I agree. A traditional power shield at the start, but that can only power shield projectiles.
Yeah.
And then in the first 1 or 2 frames, have it reflected half strength like a melee.
I don't really.
You don't like that?
No.
I love that. I think it's
I don't mind
really.
it.
I think it's really cool.
I don't mind it.
Especially good against like stuff like Falco Laser. It's
a great sound effect too.
Yeah. I would keep the parry mechanic, just make it better. More frames and without like the freezing
don't-
crap.
I would-
A sip of my wine now.
I wouldn't necessarily make it better. I would just like
I think
make
it needs to
aerials
be.
have a little bit more landing lag,
more landing lag.
so that they're like more with
Reduce shield drop frames as well to like Brawl Smash 4 level, so you can do more out of shield instead of a forced up smash, up B or aerial.
I would change the shield stun. itself. I think there's too much shield stun in alt, actually.
Yeah, shield stun, shield lag being homogenized would be nice. Because, I mean, obviously it's for like visual effect. So like 8 times revenge Incineroar forward smashes your shield and you sit there for like 40 frames, right?
Yeah.
Like you can feel like the power of like that move.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be nicer if it was just homogenized to be the same for everything. So then your punishes are consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think even how Ultimate Shield works now would be fine, just with a reduced shield drop instead, like a 6 or whatever. But a big thing for me is defensive mechanics in disadvantage, like getting comboed. You need stronger DI. You need stronger SDI. You need all these, because the whole point of Smash is that it's almost randomized. Like at any given point in the match, the way this move interacts with you will be different because you're at a different percent. They have a different amount of rage. It's very dynamic and flexible. Where when you have a lot of combos that sort of don't care, like I'm at 0 or I'm at 40, I'm still getting like near fed by
Whoever.
Palutena
Yeah, right.
or whoever. Like. And no matter what way I DI, they just do the same thing, and that move will still catch me.
Yeah.
Where in Melee, like when you see, like,
You want it to be a tree.
You want
free form combos.
Yeah, you want
Freeform combos that
yeah.
need to respond to the defensive option chosen. That it's like still true, but you have to completely adjust to the choice that they've made.
It also has to be somewhat difficult.
Yes,
because
and
if
difficult as well.
if following DI, if the game's like the engine of it is slow or something, and it's really easy to follow DI or something,
then that's not
it doesn't matter.
So more options for you, like while getting comboed, to kind of force the opponent to mix up what they are doing in that process. It's such, I don't know. I think that's like number one for me.
It's actually, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. It's actually a fucking great question, and I'm trying to think because there's so much you could fiddle with and tinker with, and I'm not sure because I'm just kind of I'm only thinking of it like. Go ahead.
Get rid of 2-framing.
Yes.
Gone.
Oh, dude.
Bring back ledge hogging.
I will talk about 2-framing on the next podcast. This fucking mechanic is awful.
Yeah.
It is so bad. It is so like, it's not even... Yeah.
A lot of people don't like ledge hogging because they think it's very basic and uninteractive. But if you really... Like, once you kind of understand what's actually happening, because it makes it... I think it's better demonstrated when you see the problems with 2-framing.
Yeah.
Which, one, it's RNG. Like, it is literally, you throw out the move, you hope it works. If it does, you got the kill. If you don't, then bad luck, try it again or whatever. It's not, and if you have like an 8-frame move or whatever, like it's not skill. It's not, it is essentially RNG and whether that ledge trap has worked or not. But what it also does, it encourages going low because that's the safest way. Like 90% of the time, you want to go low. And if you haven't, then you've basically shot yourself in the foot because now you're landing on the opponent. Where ledge trumping, going low is still a decent option, but it's not your go-to option. You have to mix up. Am I going high? Am I going low? It's a lot more like dynamic and flexible, I guess, with like how you're getting back to the ledge. Are you going to the ledge? Or are you overshooting it? Where like in Ultimate, why would you ever overshoot it unless you're like Snake going to middle stage or whatever? So it kind of forces mix-ups, basically.
Well, yeah. The risk-reward for 2-framing is just atrocious. It's just bad game design.
Yeah.
Because you stand on the stage, you take literally no risk. It is nothing can go wrong as long as you use your move somewhat early. Because if you're too late and you miss the 2-frame, then you can get punished. But if you do between that middle early period, then you might get the 2-frame and you can't get punished.
Yeah.
So there's no risk to it, and you can kill people at any percent. Like if you have a strong spike, you can just kill them at like 20 or wolf down smash, and they don't have a double jump or whatever. Like or their up B is bad, they just can't get back.
And you don't get your jump back in
it's
Ultimate.
Yeah, it's like fucking
if you get 2 frames.
awful.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to have edge hogging, but 2-framing is like has to be gone. It's fucking abysmal.
If you still had trumping with 2-framing being removed, then I would bring it back to the Smash 4 trump system where you have the guaranteed follow-up instead of the DI-able trump.
Edge hogging is also a lot finer when you like make recoveries a bit better universally.
Yes.
So like in Brawl, Link's up B or whatever is fucking so abysmal. It's like so unusable that you'll get knocked off and you'll just fucking get edge hogged.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. But whereas
Ivysaur up B.
Yeah, if you have like alt Link and he was like in Brawl and you had edge hogging, this is fine because
So
you
you
are,
can overshoot the ledge.
yeah, it's very rare you
have the
just
bomb
can't
and,
get
yeah.
back, and you have bomb, you have options.
Like look at Sheik in melee,
Yeah.
not melee in brawl. So you up B to the ledge, and if they're on the ledge, you overshoot the ledge.
Yeah.
And if they're not on the ledge, you go to the ledge.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Yeah.
And that's just how it should be. Like you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if your opponent is good, they will punish you for overshooting the ledge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a two-player interaction of what are they doing, where am I, where should I go to, calling it out. Whereas recovery is otherwise just I'm always going to do this, irrespective of you can throw out your move,
Yeah.
and I hope that it doesn't hit. Like it's a lot more one-dimensional.
I fucking hate that mechanic. That is my least favorite mechanic in the entire franchise.
A lot
whole
of
series.
A lot of people though, I think why people don't like ledge hogging so much is they only know about it from melee, where it is particularly egregious in melee. You have like if you get up attack, you have that full 62 frame window where you're in the middle of, you've masked get up attacked. You're not on the ledge at all, and the person just
and they still can't grab it.
can't grab it.
Like I think you could, you
Where
could probably
in
have
Brawl-
edge hogging and like clean it up,
Yeah,
and you could have something really good. But again, you don't need edge hogging. But you've like in my ideal Smash,
it needs
two frame has to be gone.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you could do something with rage. I like rage impacting your combos from like 0 to 80 or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like rage killing you obscenely early because you've taken damage.
I don't like
I
either
like
of them
it. I like it
personally.
changing your combo tree. I like that.
yeah, I do
And
too.
giving you different avenues and having to be aware of that. I think that's good. I like the engine mostly of Smash 4, probably a little bit less floaty. I like all the movement options
Perfect
in Smash
pivoting.
4, like perfect pivoting, like dash shield feels really nice, like fox string feels really good. And if you
I
have like
would-
the physics of alt with the overall like more so like movement engine of Smash 4, I'd be pretty happy with that.
I would be perfectly happy with a game that basically has all of the movement options that have ever existed, even if by and large some of them might be redundant. Like you might think like, why would you have wave dashing and perfect pivoting?
Right.
But they do fulfill different needs, and I think if you can successfully implement both of them, where one is stronger than the other, then you might as well be able to do that. Even if say 80% of the time you would just wave dash.
What-
Sometimes during a combo, you would want a perfect pivot.
No L canceling.
Or,
no? This is a terrible mechanic. I don't want this.
Awful
in my Smash
mechanic,
game.
just
Terrible.
so bad. Oh, nice! You arbitrarily
Z-cancelling?
press the L button.
Yeah.
Now you
Now
get
you're
half of your land.
faster.
Yeah, wow,
It's
excellent.
awful, yeah, terrible.
That's great.
Even
What do you guys think of balloon knockback?
Balloon knockback. Sorry.
Smash 4 balloon knockback or ultimate balloon knockback?
Ultimate
Because
balloon
I've decided that they're
I'm
both balloon
I'm
knockback.
like dumb as fuck. I don't know what that is.
You know how when you hit people in Smash 4, in Smash Alt, and
They
move
just
really fast?
explode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because, see, Smash 4 is helium balloon knockback, where you go and then you just keep going and keep going and keep going, and then you pop.
prefer Smash 4.
Yeah. Oh,
The
really?
thing is,
Yeah.
so we're talking about like dynamic, like on the fly, thinking about your combo tree, and I think Smash 4's knockback is against that ideal because you know where they're going to be because you can see it. Like you can always react to where they're going to be, kind of thing.
I don't know if I'd say
I think
that.
melee knockbacks pretty much hit it on the head, where
Yeah.
it's not.
Actually, I like ultimates personally. I like the balloon knockback.
I don't really, but I think it's not something I care much about either way, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I prefer.
There's no game where I've played. I'm like, wow, the knockback or whatever is so atrocious in this. As long as you have adequate hits done to be able to do those kind of combos.
I mean, that was like a mistake that Brawl kind of made, was like letting you air dodge 14 frames in your hit stun.
Yeah.
Speaking of air dodges, I actually like Brawl's air dodges the most.
I like Smash 4s.
Yeah, Smash 4s.
Smash
probably
4s
a little
don't
more.
have enough lag on them.
I mean,
Aren't they like just not as good as Brawls?
No, because in Smash 4,
Except for like Mewtwo's and
well,
stuff.
no, it's
obviously.
not even just Mewtwo's. Like everyone's like air dodge is very similar to Mewtwo's, where they can do something immediately after,
well,
right?
I like that movement option, by the way, of short hop aerial, short hop air dodge, and then aerial.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
really
No.
like
I
that.
like that a lot. Yeah.
Short up air dodge cross up.
Yeah.
And stuff like
It's
that.
really
Yeah.
good, yeah.
I'm not really a fan of it, but
It's 'cause Bowser can't do it.
yeah, no, you can't do it. Also, frame 3 jump squats across the board has to go.
Yeah, I think that was like sort of thought of it like it would be good, but it's.
I thought it
probably
would be
not.
good because I played Bowser right in Smash 4 and I was like, frame 8 jump score, I can't jump, and now I'm playing against like these Bowsers and Snakes that are jumping with impunity and they're just playing hopscotch over on the other side of the stage, and I'm like, this is not fair, this is not fun.
Well,
I don't like it.
Not only did they like not adjust for it, but they just made them faster across the board as well.
Yeah.
So now you have Bowser just chasing you down from the
running down Sonic. Come here!
Each step shaking the screen as he comes closer to you. So
Boom, ba, ba, boom, ba. Yeah.
Yeah, not
no, I
very
like
well
Smash 4's air dodge. I like that it's like because this option doesn't feel broken. Like against good players, like you just get like it's
Maybe
good.
Mewtwo's just needed to be nerfed.
Maybe probably like it's good, but I mean, how many people have lost stocks in Smash 4 from like fucking air dodging? Like so many. I think it's good. Actually, I'm pretty happy with it.
they need to bring back.
I love the landing lag on it, and the directional air dodge. Just not a big fan of it, to be honest.
I'm fine with. I like directional air dodge.
I'm indifferent. I don't like it.
Yeah,
but
I could live with it. I would not have it.
No,
probably in my
I don't
ideal
think so.
Smash.
Because it's not great, like it's not broken or anything. Like early in Ultimate, for example, but I like it just as an additional. I think it just adds depth to that kind of
Fair
situation,
enough.
and you can even in tech situations as well. Like you could either land and then tech to here, or you could almost land, air dodge forward into the ground, and then you end up here. Like I do like it as an additional option.
I would let people shield out of like dash and run way more easily, like in Smash 4 and Brawl.
Make it like frame 5 or whatever.
something
If it's
like
like
that.
frame 12 or 11.
I kind of like the idea that like the dash or the run should be like a commitment, but it's too much.
Yeah,
because
it's too
sometimes
much.
you're just
stuck in it.
I'm halfway across the stage and I've done a dash, which I'm trying to play the fucking game. Like I shouldn't be sitting there not doing anything, and then they've done a certain thing. They haven't read my dash, but they just fucking happened to do something, and I'm like, well, I'll react to that. But no, I won't. I'm just gonna get hit, even though like I've seen it coming a mile away, but I've done one dash. I'm just getting fucking hit for this. I don't like this.
Wait, sorry, you don't like
How long it takes to like shield out?
during your dash animation?
Yes.
I'm okay with it.
No, stop it.
It's too.
too much.
I find it very clunky.
Yeah,
I think dashing should be a commitment.
But
I think it's too much of a
want? Like,
commitment.
it's too much. You want people just like walking around.
Yeah, especially in a game where just throwing out hitboxes is so rewarded compared to other games.
true,
You should be able to just immediately pull up a shield against that.
And like it's a fighting game. Like having reactions matter is like a good thing. Like being rewarded for having really fast reaction times, I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like a frame 3 jump squat scenario where it like hasn't happened, and so we don't realize how awful it would be.
It's like that in Melee.
What do you mean?
In Melee, you can shield immediately out of dash.
It doesn't have to be like immediately, but what was happening in Smash 4 was like fine. But you're just fucking stuck in this game.
Yeah,
You're just stuck.
And you just
forever.
get swatted away for it.
It's so.
But
it's so annoying.
it's never like I shouldn't have dashed there.
Yeah.
Or like
what a mistake.
I
that
recognize
was,
that
man.
situation. It's like I just couldn't get my shield up in time. That was unlucky.
And it's like it's really frustrating because it's like because also when you do that, then you lead people to like, oh, well, I better jump then. And so then you have this like watered down thing of like, well, I just have to jump because I can't dash at them.
Yeah.
Like if they have if they have a stock lead, it's like, well, I can't dash at them because they're just like playing keep away and just swap me away. Right. And I can't get in there and shield, so I just have to jump now. Another game is just jumping.
By extension, that's really simplified ledge trapping. Well, not like corner play, rather.
Yeah.
Once they've gotten back on the ledge, the only thing the opponent can do is jump.
Yeah.
Because if they dash at you, they get hit by something because they can't shield.
Because you can't go through.
And they can't go through them either. You can't cross them up. So you have to jump.
Dude,
and for the first like year and a half, it's like I would just forward air, and they just die at 80 because they picked the option that they had to do in that situation, and they die for it, you know. And the game in general encourages jumping, which isn't inherently a bad thing. I think it's.
I like Smash generally taking place throughout like short hopping and using aerials. I like the way that looks and feels. I think that's good.
I mean, the game's aerial, right?
Yeah, but like. Yeah, the huge like benefit of like full hopping and double jumping compared to like dashing, and how nerfed that is compared to the other option is too much, I think.
Yeah. Two relatively small changes.
Okay.
I'd revert jabs to how they operated in Smash 4, where they generally. Sorry.
I thought you were going to go to Brawl.
I'm not really familiar with enough with Brawl jabs.
Well, there's like actual jab combos in Brawl, which I like.
Jab combos are cool, but I really liked how you could mix up, like, at least Cloud and some other characters in that game. It meant a lot more whether you're going to jab 1, jab 2, or jab 3. They'd expect to jab 3, so you just do jab 1. And then you grab them.
No,
you kind of mix them up
you know
between
what
the
actually
three.
It's the jab 1, 2, and then side B.
Yeah.
It's Cloud. This shit was so fucking annoying.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That shit's
Like,
so annoying.
I really like being able to mix up like
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
that boxing,
The boxing,
tool with
yeah,
the
yeah.
jabs.
One of the
they also
biggest-
connected.
One of the biggest.
Unlike an ultimate.
No, I think jabs connect in Ultimate better than they did in Smash 4.
No, that's wrong.
You're wrong.
That's wrong.
You're wrong.
That's
So-
wrong. Like Captain Falcon jab, Cloud jab, Robin jab, Sephiroth jab a lot of the time.
Robin's jab has never worked.
The
by
rapid
way.
jabs operate fine, but I'm
Okay,
talking about
no.
like the jab 1 to jab 2. So often just like miss.
I'm gonna
Fox
say what
even.
everyone's thinking. Okay, rapid jabs are for noobs. These should be STIable. If you rapid jab me, I should be able to get out and hit you.
Yeah.
Suck me off. I don't
Yeah.
care. This is what happens in Brawl. If someone rapid jabs you, STI up, forward air, and you hit them.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be. I hate rapid jabs. I think they're dog shit.
I agree.
You look like a skillless noob. Stop rapid jabbing. That's my 2 cents.
It does kind of look like you're mashing.
It looks like you're a mashing noob. It's like you're a noob, honestly. I hate actually. It's so funny. I actually have like a massive. I actually hate.
I remember at the start of
I hate
Ultimate, you
rapid
refused to
jabs.
rapid
really
jab
weird.
jungling.
Rapid
Yeah.
Really
jabs.
weird.
Yeah.
Really weird. What I was trying to say was that like one of the biggest reasons why I didn't like Alt Bowser was because I couldn't like jab 1 to like anything in Alt,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because
DK jab 1 as well, like pulling them
Yeah,
in.
that's
yeah,
good.
because you punch them with
Yeah.
Bowser, and he's like, you now no longer you can't grab, you can't up B, you can't like side B or
Yeah.
any of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
You
okay, you,
have
just
to-
jab 2 and it's just as broken.
Well, that's just not true at all, isn't it?
I think it's true.
I'm pretty sure
You're there in a
Smash,
tick situation and you 40% flame breath them.
you need to be quiet.
I think I'm right.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm about Bowser.
Jab 1 side B as well in Ultimate.
But we have to. Honestly, we should table that for like next podcast. Well, like actually write down full list of like your perfect Smash game.
Perfect game.
Yeah, because
We'd make a good Smash
actually,
game.
I could talk for legitimately like 3 hours about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've
Yeah.
got so many things right about like how many characters there should be, what the balance should be. Risk reward is like a huge one in my brain
Mm-hmm.
for Smash. Like things that are stacked in terms of risk reward really bother me. Like probably one of the biggest offenders for that would be like Meta Knight dash stack in Smash 4.
Yeah.
You know, just like obscenely stacked in his favor, just like way too much, like terribly designed. I hate that.
You've been talking about the moves that are just a little too versatile in what they do.
It's really like if you went gambling, but you're the house.
You always win, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of like because, well, there's the thing with like Meta Knight dash attack is it's very simple, right? So if he hits you with it, he may kill you at like 10% or 20% with the ladder combo.
That's fine.
You're like, okay, that's like okay, but then the problem is if you shield it or you spot dodge it, what's the max punish you can get on him? A forward tilt, a jab, or a grab, maybe, depending on what
dolphin
character you are.
slash him
You
as
can maybe
Mars.
like you can get like a very brief, very fast reactionary punish, but you'll do about 10%.
and we've
So,
discussed it before,
you know.
really. Like, if you're going to have a move that will kill somebody
Yeah.
at some ridiculous percent, then you need to be prepared to have a punish
Yeah,
that will kill them at an equivalent percent.
something like that.
So, if Meta Knight dash attacks your shield and he can kill you at 10%, then he should die at
it shouldn't
10%.
matter, or at least the combo should be like way harder or something. Like that's how you can balance stuff. We actually talked about this once, but we were talking about Falco Illusion and Brawl, and you're like, oh, the risk reward in this move is so bullshit. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no fucking reward. It does like 5%. It doesn't combo into anything. It's just like basically a neutral reset. It's actually like pretty good. Like the move is actually broken. The move is like obscenely good. One of the best moves in Brawl. But there's no reward on it. It doesn't do anything. Actually.
The reward is 5%.
It gets you out of the corner, which
Yeah.
I think is really like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
that
but-
alone
but
is
like-
incredible reward.
The move is broken, but you wouldn't really look at it and be like, man, like this the risk reward on this move, because if you do hard read it, you can punish it. You can slide him out of the air with it, like if you actually read it. But
Sometimes.
you don't kill him for it either. You just hit him, and that's like fair enough. And
So low risk, low reward.
the rewards, like the move is stacked in his favor, sure, but it's not like he's not just like killing you off it or something, or doing some obscene combo or doing 40%. Hit you for like 5%.
I think I slightly disagree with that. Just because the reward is that you are no longer in a disadvantageous position whatsoever. Like you kill this character by getting them off stage, and then he has a get out of jail free card of like, I could die early here, but now I'm back to center stage.
You can read it though.
You can, but
it's not easy to do.
it's-
But
yeah, I think like I think you are underselling the reward of that
No,
move.
I-
Like,
I
it
have-
won't kill you.
I
It
have
won't do
said
30%.
on this podcast that is the best move in Brawl, quite
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah.
So I'm very aware of how
Yeah.
actually completely fucked this move is. But in terms of like the actual like balance of it, in terms of risk reward, I don't really have much of a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it either
Yeah.
because it's not going to kill me at 10%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But when you get hit by 100 of them over a game, the little facial twitch starts going off. You get
Yeah.
hit by another illusion.
Yeah. It is a very like tilting move.
Yeah. I would like to do the giveaway, which we've been talking about for about 2 weeks. So Aero's prepped on his phone all the people who have followed the rules to get into the giveaway, which was, in case you need reminding, had to like and retweet the episode tweet from 2 weeks ago and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you also had to be an Australian Smash player in the Australian community.
So the American who commented on the
Yeah.
video a couple of weeks
Can it be
ago,
something other than a Steam gift card? No.
Not for you.
Not for you, anyway. So we're going to do that now. We're going to do that live.
Mm-hmm.
So
And-
I have like a website here that like loads a tweet and then picks someone from the retweeted things.
Really?
Okay.
Which
So
is
who did it
convenient.
just generate?
Sorry?
Did it just generate the tweet there, or
It did.
not yet?
Look, see? You can
And
see.
we're sorry, we actually ran this before and a certain player won, but the odds of them winning again is very unlikely. So sorry to that person. I can't remember who it was. Do you remember, Eric?
No.
It's like Nude or something. Who could have had it, but we ran it as like a test run at the cafe.
Well, no.
Oh, right,
No,
okay.
it wasn't even that. It actually just had. I realized later that was just a list of the players
Oh,
that
okay.
liked or retweeted
All right,
it
no
most
worries
recently.
then. Right, this is just hype.
A lot of ads.
Massive. Yeah, there are a fucking lot of ads on that.
So it's got like
How many
the
entrants?
entries loaded,
Fuck, it was
and
like-
half of these are like Americans or Europeans who have searched the word giveaway on Twitter.
Yep. So we'll just like rerun it if we hit one of those.
Where is it? Begin draw. Creating draw. Oh, it was Alicia.
Leisha!
Leisha won. That's
No,
funny.
for evidence, you should show the camera as well.
Bring it up.
You know, funny
We'll
little
call
story.
Leisha right now.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've won the...
well, she's drowned a big cheese, so she'll be happy.
She needs something to cheer her up.
She'll actually be happy about that. That's
Yeah.
cool. But it's kind of funny because I added Jason in the Discord like a week ago, and I was like, oh, by the way, you can't win. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like,
Has the camera gone off?
I don't know. You're there.
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
What do you mean you don't see anything?
Help.
I can't see what you're looking at.
I don't know. I don't know if the camera's off.
Can you pick it up and bring it over then?
Oh, fine.
What do you expect me to do? It's dead, mate. Fuck's sake. Whatever.
So it's not been recording this whole time?
I'd say it has at some point because you guys checked it, didn't you? Whatever. Who needs video anyway?
Was it Ben's fault?
I don't know. I've been sitting here the whole time.
It was recording when I last saw it.
I don't know. Maybe I wonder if like you get does a phone call like stop it from maybe?
Maybe.
I've got no idea. Well, I don't know when that stops, so who knows how long we don't have footage for.
Yeah. Who
But
knows?
whatever. Who needs footage anyway?
That's a shame.
Yeah, we have cheese and
We can just have the
Well,
video of you down airing Jesmo on loop for an hour and a half.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Zelda.
good.
That's the,
yeah.
that's the footage.
That's like that'd be like a you know how you have like white room torture? That would be you like the eyes held open with tape,
Yeah.
just watching you spike me and then dying for it or whatever. On
The
repeat.
first time that move has ever had armor.
Yeah.
And then-
We had it recently. We were playing.
Yeah,
like,
recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
like
there's-
ultimate, and I'm like, oh
There's
man,
the
this is
armor,
just-
and I was like, I have literally never seen that ever before in my life.
When was that?
It's
Who was I
recent.
playing
I
against?
don't. Me.
It was.
You were playing against me. I was
Okay.
playing Diddy, and you did it, and you said that's the armor, and I was like, I've never seen any other Diddy have it.
Yeah.
And it's happened twice with you across like 7 years. Weird. Actually, just weird.
The universe just hates me.
Well, better play wins. And the only other thing, we've got a bit of time. Oh, we've been trying to get this segment done for like fucking 3 weeks, so I might as well do it now.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I know
Top
what
10
this
games.
is.
Now, we changed this around a bit last week. I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of like naming all of my favorite games that probably a lot of you have played, I'm going to pick some games I'm going to pick 5 that are actually bad games that I like and then 5 games that I think are like fucking goated that maybe you haven't played before. So everyone's got a list. I'm going to go through mine to start with, and if you guys have played any of these games, let me know. Like the bad ones, maybe you haven't played. So these are the 5 games that are bad that I personally love for like nostalgic reasons or just whatever fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Dash Racing. What
the hell's that?
Okay, this is like an original Xbox game. There are like 3 classes. You have like your brawler, your like dasher, and like your fucking cunt who flies. And it's like a racing game, but they all run. And they're like shortcuts, and yeah, it's like some of them, like the out of the 3 classes, the strong ones like break through shit so they can take class specific shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
The dashers can like, I don't know, they go through, I don't even remember what they do. And then the flyers like can fly over like water and obstacles and shit because they can fly for like a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Game's like kind of dog shit, but it's also sick. Magic Battlegrounds The Gathering. We talked about this one last week. This is like, I don't even know what this is like. You are on different sides of the stage. You summon monsters, then you have to overwhelm the opponent's side of the field and like take all their life points basically. Actually, low key, like super fun game. Fable 1. This game's awful, but I love it. Voodoo Vince, another Xbox original, I think, which is just like a...
I vaguely remember it.
This game's sick. Like, kind of black humor a little bit, and you're like a little voodoo
Kind of
doll.
like Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah. You're like a little voodoo doll who's come to life, and it's just like a platformer, and you just play the levels, man. Play the game. And then Whacked, with an exclamation point, which is like, again, another Xbox original, where you are on a game show with all these like completely fucked contestants who are like insane. So kind of like an adult game, and it's like a battle royale sort of thing. But actually, like the engine of it is like pretty good. And it's pretty fun, and all the voice acting, all the characters are like very memorable and fun and shit. In terms of good games, Marble Blast Ultra. This game is insane. Turns out you can like torrent this or something online somewhere. Jason told me.
Jason was playing it,
Yeah,
like streaming
this
it
game
to
is
us.
sick. It looks so good. This game is fucking nuts. You're actually a
Stupid
marble,
marble game.
and you just like platform around this. But it's all fully like 3D and stuff. It's sick. Battle for Middle Earth, which is like sort of Empire Earth for Lord of the Rings. Diddy Kong Racing, which is the only good like racing game. They should have gone with this series instead of Mario Kart. Mario Kart takes no skill. Diddy Kong Racing.
They almost made a sequel on the GameCube.
I know.
Crash Team Racing is, I think, the
No, I
greatest.
said Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Right.
But actually, Nitro Kart is here. Crash Nitro Kart.
Exceptionally good game.
Great game. And then Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Go to
Good
fucking
game.
amazing
Really good
platformer
game.
adventure game.
Yeah.
That's my 10. Ben, you want to go?
All right. Mostly Nintendo here. Grew up on that. Couple exceptions, but Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, cracking game.
Amazing.
Paper Mario 64 is also really good.
The arena level's the best one, that chapter. Arena level's
Yeah, with Raw Cork
so
and all
good,
that. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Yep.
Back when they did good RPGs with Mario. Pokemon Ruby, that's the one I grew up on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like Emerald's probably better, but Ruby's my favorite. Metroid Prime as well, really good
Nintendo
game.
fanboy.
Yeah. Halo 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Really good game.
Okay.
I played a lot of Combat Evolved multiplayer as well. Incredible. Like we had like the 24-player matches on the school lobbies and stuff like that. Really good. Brawl as well. Like grew up with Melee, then Brawl a little later. Probably a bit more nostalgic for that. Single-player game holds up as
people
well.
think like Brawl is shit, and yet like they will either say that's my favorite Smash game ever,
Yeah.
or I started with Brawl.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks it's like bad. It's weird.
Well, I've heard it described as like the best bad game ever made. Mario Sunshine, love that game. Pokemon Snap as well.
That game is so good.
Really good. Mother 3. I only actually played that in like 2015, 2016. Very good game on Game Boy
Pokemon
Advance.
Snap has like a vibe factor.
It's the charm
Yeah,
to it
it's-
is really good that they just completely flopped hard in the sequel
I feel
as
like
well.
it's not just nostalgia either. There is
No.
something like tangible about it. Like there's this charm. Like the music is kind of low key, and
Yeah, I
the
only played
scenery.
Pokemon Snap in the last few years,
Yeah,
and I
it's so
really
good.
enjoyed it. Yeah,
I feel like honestly, you could get like some fucking wine and cheese, sit down and just play that on your own. You'd have a great time. It's a great game.
yeah,
Really fun.
very good.
Yeah.
Metroid Fusion as well. That's a bit of a contentious one in the series, but it's my favorite. Grew up with it. And Advance Wars 2. I really love Advance Wars. I think it like shits on Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Very good game.
Cool list. I like it.
Yeah. And I have a couple shit games as well.
Not bad handwriting either.
Did we want to wait? Did you say any of the shit games for you? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So one's a Flash game, which is sort of cheating, but I played a lot of Flash games.
Game as well. Yeah.
I really liked Age of War,
Okay.
which was I always loved like tower defense games or like I don't know what they call like base games. Where you have your base and then you send out your troops and you have to go to the other side and destroy their base. Yeah. Well, in all those games, I'd always choose like defensive. Yeah. Anyway.
Cloud back,
yeah.
Nice.
It's like kind of broken, not that great,
Yeah,
but it's
you just
really
love it. You
cool,
just love it,
and the music goes hard for no reason.
Nice.
And the other one on GameCube, which I only really played relatively recently as well, was Wario World.
Never played it.
Where it's a 3D version of the Wario Land games. Like it's not identical to Wario Land, but a similar kind of thing. There's like 6 levels and they're all an hour and a half long, and you can't stop them between. Like the experience itself is kind of shit, but so much about it is just cool. Like he has the moves and like really long levels. There's a boss at the end of every level. Very cool game, not that good.
Right.
So, yeah.
Aero, what you got?
I mean, I just had like the lists that I had from like.
What are the bad ones?
Before, most of them are pretty good, but the bad ones that I can I like look at and I think, I mean, it's not great, but I enjoyed it anyway. So, Digimon World 2003 or Digimon World 3, I spoke about this on the last podcast, but it's like a sprite-based JRPG. Turn-based battles. Think Pokemon.
Is that on PS1?
Yes.
Yeah. I heard that the PS1 had a few good Digimon games.
Well, it had a few Digimon games in general, but I don't know whether most of them were particularly good. Okay. This game was like kind of buggy, and the story was like grade 3 shit. Mm-hmm. It was really bad, but just like the music was good, like the sprite work is incredible. It's just insanely good for what was probably a really low budget game.
Yeah, right.
Other bad games. Let's have a look. Let's see. Star Fox. Is that Assault? That is Assault. Star Fox Assault was awful. But I loved it.
Did you use the default controls on the ground?
I think so.
There's your problem. You got to use Control Scheme C, and it plays like Call of Duty.
It plays like Call of Duty? Is that what you're trying to say to me?
Yeah, you have the double stick. Yeah, it's good. But if you play the default controls, it's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, fair enough. Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah.
It's like the first set, basically, of Pokemon cards. So there's not like a lot of them, and the game's pretty generic, right? It's just like a trading card game. It's against computers who like do the same thing all the time. But I don't know, it was really fun. The music's good. Good vibes from that game.
Yeah, you got to talk about just the vibe of the game. You know what I mean? You're going through like your favorite games. You just need to like what's good about it? The vibe.
Yeah,
the vibe is just it's on point.
Yeah,
the vibe is
games
incredible.
don't have vibe.
No,
anymore.
they don't. No vibe.
No.
Zero vibe. Old has no vibe.
Yeah.
All right. 100% orange juice.
We should play that actually.
We should play it. This game is so incredibly stupid. Basically, it's like Mario Party, but with like anime characters, and so you've got like all of these like anime girls running around, and you move around a board, and you get to someone, and then you either like beat them up for their stars, or you just like leave, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the aim of the game is to get like there's like 5 stages, and you get like X amount of stars, right? So you can get 30 stars and you can like level up, and you need to get to like level 5 or level 6 or whatever.
And the win con gets harder each time.
Yeah, the win condition gets harder as you progress, so it gives you that catch up factor.
Yeah.
And more stars get added to the pool the later it goes into the game. So
Well, it's Mario Party.
it's kind of like Mario Party. It's really
But
bad.
they're anime chicks, yeah.
But
It's really awful. It's so bad, but I love it. And you
Yeah.
can buy this game for like $3 on Steam.
Have you guys played Fusion Frenzy?
No.
Oh my god, I'd carve you guys in that. It's kind of like a battle royale. Like it's like Mario Party, but only the mini games sort of thing.
We should play 100% orange juice.
Play it.
It's
Dude, you're lighting up talking about this.
I love it.
You've never had this face talking about like Smash Ult in your life.
Actually, sorry to cut you off. I've just remembered another very good bad game.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with Tiff. You know Epic Tiffy, or you probably would.
I lost to Epic Tiffany
Jane
in some tournament.
Right. Yeah, she's pretty good. The Ryan and Biju, like watch her streams or
Alright,
stuff
okay.
as well. Mario DDR on GameCube is a very cool, pretty bad game.
I don't know what that
it
is.
has like big like Mario Party vibes because I'm pretty sure like all the assets are like ripped straight from it. Sounds like it, looks like it, and yeah, like 2004, maybe 2005. You have like this techno remix like soundtrack of Mario and other people dancing, and you have the DDR pad that you plug into your GameCube, and yeah, it's just DDR. But with you're going through like the world and
But
there's like a
Mario.
little, yeah, but Mario, yeah,
Mario dancing,
it's
so
it's,
stupid.
it's like think like Mario Party Advanced campaign,
Right.
but 3D,
Yeah.
and you're dancing,
Amazing.
and it's very cool,
Yeah, it sounds fucking
but
dope.
shit,
Yeah.
very
All
shit
the
at the
best ones
same
are.
time. Yeah,
Of some of the games that I have that are like good, we've got Breath of Fire 3, which is
I need
like
to play that.
just incredibly good. It's like the JRPG before JRPGs. Well,
One
not
of the games of all time.
not really, but like everyone kind of like thinks of Final Fantasy 7 as like, you know, like a masterpiece, right?
Is that like Thracia 99 or whatever? Is that 7 or Final Fantasy? Sorry,
Did I say Fire Emblem?
no,
I said Final Fantasy.
you did.
Okay,
I
okay.
heard Fire Emblem.
Like-
Like my brain thought it, but yeah, you said.
Like this game is as good as Final Fantasy 7 if you're like thinking of like a classic kind of thing, in my opinion. It has some tropes that we like look at today and we're like, oh, that's really overused. But when this game was created, it was
Yeah,
like
26 years ago.
Yeah, it was
29.
not an overused trope. Zelda: Link to the Past, incredible game. Don't know how I ever finished it as I was a child. The Hotel Dusk series, which is a visual novel.
Was that the one we played on the plane?
No, but it's similar.
I know the name. Did you give me that game at some point?
I probably did.
I think you did.
I did,
Yeah.
but I don't think you ever played
No.
it. Should have played it.
No.
Hotel Dusk. It's about a detective. He's looking for his lost partner. And he goes to a hotel, and maybe he finds the answer there. I don't know. Well, I do know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
played
I
it.
do
You
know.
played the game.
I played,
yeah.
You don't
I
wanna
played the game,
spoil it.
but I'm not spoiling anything.
I think he finds him.
So yeah, I mean, those are like the only ones that I would like straight out recommend that aren't like super normy. Like, I mean, Pokemon Sapphire.
Yeah.
Like this is
What
like.
about Phoenix Wright?
I have some Phoenix Wright here game.
This is such an Aero game.
I need to actually finish the.
You do need to finish that
Yeah,
one
that
because I
one,
think that
yeah.
one's probably the best
Yeah.
one, low key. The Great Ace Attorney, which is set in like 1900 Japan.
Yeah.
Well, not England actually.
That's cool.
And it's very, I don't know, like cultured, I guess. Like you can like all of the characters like speak in like, they have like
The accent.
English
Accents,
dialects
yeah, right.
in
Yeah,
their
yeah.
text.
I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
You know
really
what's a fucking good game? Medieval Total War 2.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a fucking obscenely good like
I have
real-time
to stream.
strategy. Yeah, because you saw me. I was streaming it on Discord, and you
Yeah.
like saw me playing it, and then you were like, "Ooh, cool game!"
Gotta
And,
get
and then
on.
I think that you ever played it.
No, I didn't.
You should. I'd watch you stream that. But yeah, that game is fucking sick. So in depth. There's so many like mods for it now as well because it's like 20 years old. Or
Is
whatever.
that kind of like Civilization? Or
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, yeah, it's a similar sort of vibe, but it's cracking game. So good.
Broken Sword, Sword of the Templars is here, which is the game that you were thinking of when I played it on the aeroplane. And I don't know, the only other thing that I could ever recommend is like Civ 5 with
Yeah.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I think I played with like Bussy and Darnell, and I would like immediately.
What was the civilization you kept choosing that was like broken?
Oh, the Huns.
Was that it?
So I'd play the Huns, and I
You
was like,
keep killing Andre.
it was like Andre, Arnell, and Bussy, and like all of them.
I could picture
Never-
Andre getting pretty frustrated.
Dude, you could have named like 3 more like fucking killable people in a video game. Honestly,
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
would love
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
Froth that.
really funny because so we're playing in this multiplayer game in this Civ 5 game, and there's like me, Bussy, Jason, like Arnell, and like someone else. 10 minutes into the game, Bussy's civilization has been destroyed, and people are just like,
Collapses within itself.
what's happened? Like no one said anything. Nobody
Yeah.
has said like there's been no words said. Like Bussy hasn't said anything. He hasn't
Yeah.
said, why the
Oh,
hell are you
attack,
sending
yeah.
like 50 battering rams to that thing to burn down China or whatever?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and they weren't happy. Bussy wasn't happy. Arnell wasn't
Why
happy.
didn't you say anything?
Arnell was next.
Why did you not said anything?
I don't know.
Fucking pussy.
Didn't know what was going on.
He has no idea. Yeah, you have no clue. We're playing different games here. You have no idea.
So, Civilization has a special
Yeah,
place in my heart.
Yeah, there are like obviously there are different games that are like really good to play with friends, and then ones that are like more sort of solo viable. Brawl is like obscenely good to play with friends. Like if you have like a 4-man rotation or something, that game is sick. But thank fucking God this segment is over, because we've been doing it for like 3 weeks, and we've like next week we'll get like the list, like the top 10 games that we just haven't done it. It was since the Toki episode.
Yeah.
So next week's agenda, I don't have to have fucking favorite games. We'll move on to movies instead. But
I will list 3
That'd be
movies.
yeah, all the movies you've literally ever seen in your life.
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
Yeah.
The Incredibles 2.
Dog shit movie.
Arrival.
And Arrival.
Yeah. Great movie.
I actually
Watch
didn't mind Arrival.
Right, no, Arrival's it's a great movie. Arrival. Yeah. But that should hopefully, that'll wrap us up. We've hit actually, looked at it, it was like an hour 38, but I realized we were recording like 10 minutes prior to like actually
still
filming.
hour and a half. That's fine.
That's good.
That's fine.
So best of
We're
luck
sick
to
of everyone for the day.
Gotta go play some Smash and like so I can rage about this game.
Yeah.
Best of luck to all of the Big Cheese competitors.
Yeah.
So
particularly the Queenslanders.
Yeah, Strix, and who was yours again? Your tip to win? DD. Okay, yeah. I hope none of those 3 win, because that'd be exciting.
We should put a stake on it. Whoever performs
Strix.
the best, you don't trust Strix.
Yeah. No, he'll perform well.
Because Seb's gonna win.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But
Will he cry happy tears? I wonder.
I prefer it if he didn't. But
That's good. Like when Riddles won, he was like when he won his major recently, he was like crying.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Shouldn't be doing that.
Or if you followed
Federer moment.
If you followed League when Deft made the semi-finals of Worlds for League of Legends, he's like, freaking out.
Grow up.
No, well, I thought it was a nice moment.
I helped Bro 1 get over there, so I hope he does well.
Yeah, he'll do well, I think.
Yeah.
He seems like pretty cool under pressure, so I don't think he'll choke.
Yeah, I don't really consider him like a choker or anything like that.
So.
Like he might just it's kind of weird. Like even if he does randomly underperform, I don't really see it as like, oh yeah, he just like totally freaked out.
Yeah, like playing
like that,
way worse than your normal. That sort of choking, or like But you can lose to good players. Like you can get upset. That happens. It just happens. But yeah, best of luck to all of them. We'll review that next week. Congratulations to Leisha for winning that for the gift card. We'll let her know. Pretty exciting. That will hopefully make her. Well, I mean, she's got to give it to Cameron. Let's be honest. Which is pretty sad because I don't want to give Cameron anything. But yeah, thanks so much for I want a close up of that face. That was great. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Enjoy the weekend of Smash. Well, the weekend's over when you're watching this. Enjoy whatever the rest of your week when you watch this.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
But I'm not going to. I have a hospitality certificate in it.
I don't. I have some business certificates.
There you are. Trick is to not touch the glass.
Shut up.
You touched the glass. I heard it.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. The trick is to not touch the glass.
You touched it again.
Touch my
Yeah,
glass.
well, I'm not. I didn't study it, did I?